Grant Plattner, George Santos, Donald Trump. There's now a legendary music icon who's turned activist, who's entering a political spotlight in the South, that's been playing the role of bad boy outsider for his whole life. So guys like these who sort of made their way in, oh, this guy is an original OG. He paved the way for success in ways you may not expect it for a national office for an elected official. But believe it or not, this is a guy who's a part of the movement to create the parent advisory sticker way back when for the music releases that we all see now, or only if you actually buy physical music, if you wish, I guess. So let's get to know and understand how this man, who's got to know how understanding government regulation worked from the grassroots level way, way back in the day. This is being Uncle Luke Skywalker, Luther Campbell. He is generating significant attention to Florida's 20th congressional district in a race for the longtime entertainer and community advocate looking to basically translate his public profile into a political movement. Now, known as Uncle Luke from his days from pioneering the hip-hop group 2 Live Crew out of Miami, he has spent years involved in local activism and youth sports and community development efforts in South Florida. If you're not from Florida or from the general South and you can get past, the whole strip club thing, you know that Luther Campbell is a very strong voice, and especially in his older statesman's age, of sense of how things should be for the community. And he is doing it with a very simple formula. His campaign is focusing on local representation, which is a bit of code in this one, District 20 in Florida specifically, for black representation. Now, he's positioned himself as a candidate who understands the needs of the district's residents through decades of involvement and community. The supporters argue that his grassroots work and longstanding relationship in South Florida make him uniquely qualified to represent the district, even if he may have a bit of a checkered past. Grant Plattner and his Nazi tattoo have nothing on Luther Campbell. He's also become one of the more vocal figures in arguing about Florida's historically black 20th congressional district, which actually should continue to be represented by someone closely connected to the black community. And here's where things get a little weird. At the same time, opposition is growing against the possibility of Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who's entering the particular race here for that particular district. Several black candidates and community leaders have argued that District 20 has traditionally served as a center of black political influence in South Florida and should actually elect a representative who reflects the community's historic and demographics, not someone who's so much been an ally, because Wasserman Schultz is white, but someone who is actually black in this case. Campbell's being joined in voice and in action by former Broward County Mayor Dale Holness and an activist Elijah Manley, who are expressing their concerns over Wasserman Schultz's potential candidacy for this district. Also, physician Ruby Moyes was poised to say things, or was saying similar things, and was poised to run here as well. She has shifted to a district, congressional district 24. So she's going to run someplace else, but she also has the same concerns about the alliedness versus the actual blackness of the candidate for 20. Collectively, these candidates are arguing that maintaining the representation is an important consideration beyond party affiliation alone. Yes, Wasserman Schultz has been a very staunch supporter of the Democratic Party, of blacks in particular here in the area, and just has a lot of things done in her sense. Campbell is basically saying that he's done almost as much, if not more, on a local level and can do just as much in Congress based on what Wasserman Schultz is doing, which is now more or less just sort of being a spokesperson for the national level. His dispute has transformed the race into a broader conversation about representation and what it means in actual politics today, not yesteryear. Supporters of Campbell and the other candidates contend that they share lived experiences and cultural understanding that matter when advocating for historically underrepresented communities. Supporters of Wasserman Schultz are arguing that the experience she has in legislation is what's important. She can protect Democratic seats and help carry greater weight through Democratic considerations that she's had built over time in Congress, as opposed to other folks. But let's put a little focus on the man I used to know as Luke Skywalker back in my younger days. And before the Star Wars people, killed that moniker, Campbell's name recognition gives him visibility beyond anyone else in the race. And the biggest deal right now is making sure that maybe some people will look against Luther Campbell, but they're looking to make sure they have a viable black candidate for this actual district that can win the election. His decades-long music career in business and community activism has made him a name recognized throughout the world, let alone here in Florida. And it's unusual for a first-time congressional candidate to have this much actual pull. His campaign has attracted attention both locally and nationally, helping elevate issues surrounding the district's future, with political observers noting that while celebrity status can generate enthusiasm and media coverage, Herschel Walker, success will ultimately depend on organization, fundraising, and voter turnout. And while the strip club and Freaknik stories may be very prominent bullets in his CV, and he's not backing away from that by any means, it's in the conversations of who's more qualified to represent on areas of national stage. And it's hard not to say that a Luther Campbell, Debbie Wasserman Schultz doesn't have a matchup that's a PLE main event status that could really take the turns. This is going to be something that, right now it's bubbling down because the big issue is we don't want Wasserman Schultz. That's where the big national pull is. But for someone like Luther Campbell to be in the race, this may be one we're watching on CNN, depending on who actually makes it to the actual finals. Now, some of the pros to this whole debate, and the debate is Luther Campbell qualified, I guess, or is Debbie Wasserman Schultz less qualified? The increase in public attention to District 20 and its historical significance. This has been an historically underrepresented county, underrepresented part, and it's been black representative for the most part. So at this point in time, with Wasserman Schultz shifting to a different district, which was not a original district, though she has the representation sort of chops, does she actually represent? That's what we'll see. It also encourages a broader discussion about minority representation. Who's actually taking care of people? At some point in time, we weren't really allowed to be in charge of ourselves in places, and we had to trust the people who were in charge to take over things. Now, I think it's pretty obvious that we can take care of ourselves. It's just, can we pick the right guy to run things? Luther Campbell does have a bit of a checkered past, but it's also a past of a person who's actually persevered and actually succeeded in many levels of business and advocacy for people that he represents. That's the people in the area. It provides voters with multiple voices and perspectives within the Democratic Party. This is going to be a pretty big shot to get a big shot for a big shot Florida district, which is good, and that's great. The big issue is, if we really want to make sure that there's pure representation of the community who's there, and you can take it any way you want to, is the right person going to be set up to win? And remember, this is for the Democratic Party. They still have to run against a Republican and actually win the election. Now, here are some cons to this whole situation. This is actually risking deepening some divisions among Democrats in South Florida, because there's a lot of pull for Debbie Wasserman Schultz. There's a lot of support for the congresswoman who's been in Congress for Florida for a while and has made a name on a national stage for speaking out towards big issues for the party and for Florida. And to push her away to take over with someone else, anyone else who else is running, could be a threat to the party and to South Florida getting what it usually gets. There's also identity-based disputes that may overshadow the policy priorities. Literally a black and white issue in this district to see who's going to be in charge and who's going to get a chance to have the votes for the place. And a crowded field actually makes support harder to get to. If it's a all versus her deal, it's one thing, but it is the all, those pieces being split versus the one. So you split it one way and you split it three ways. Do you actually get a fair representation by going with the party politics or the personal politics to make sure you're getting the right look, the right view, the right see? Or are you really coming up with a chance to see who can actually win them out? Luther Campbell has not been tested on a national stage for any sort of legislation. It's not tested on legislation, anything. He has done plenty of things for community things, but has he actually run a government type situation? We shall see. The other two people that were running have some actual experience in being a part of councils, and one was a mayor. But we'll see what happens if the three of them can have an actual way to sort of wedge out Wasserman Schultz in the end. Now, the vocal opposition to her, that's Debbie Wasserman Schultz specifically, is something that's a big thing, and that was already there. But combined with Luther Campbell's rising profile in the area, this Florida 20th Congressional District is turning into a closely watched political contest in South Florida. Many people were sort of blowing it off and saying Florida is kind of done. until they started to constrict some of the districts. And now we have this fight here to keep this district something that's minority represented, not just so much minority overpowering. The race is evolving into a larger discussion about community identity and political secession and the future of black representation within the Democratic Party. There aren't so many, let's say, good Democrats in the party right now, or strong Democrats who are holding up, because right now they're turning into a fight just us against Trump, and whoever can win against Trump is there. And that's a big thing for them, to have a win against Trump, a win against the MAGA going forward. But Wasserman Schultz is more than just a win against a Trump agenda. In this area for District 20 in Florida, it really is an identity thing. They really want to be represented by people who look like them, are them, have lived like them. And Wasserman Schultz, no matter how much she has done to work towards the people of Florida, the black people of Florida, any type of people of Florida, she is not one of them, as 20 is a minority adjusted, mostly focused district. It's mostly black, and it is. And they want more representation in the party and overall in Congress. So we shall see how this thing plays out going forward. This is a big deal because, as I saw an interview this morning watching the news on Saturday morning as I'm recording this, seeing Luther Campbell talk about what he's going to do with this. And the biggest question he was asked was, if he's not the person to actually coalesce and make this a true black representation, if he basically just pulls enough votes from the other black candidates but can't beat Wasserman Schultz, is he the right guy? He thinks he is, and he's going to take a shot at it. He thinks he can win it. He thinks he could run this thing, and he thinks a little two-live crew might be something that the Congress may need in the next upcoming session. So what do you think? Do you actually vote in Florida or in this district? Those are people I'd really like to hear from. But in the meantime, if you're a Gen Xer, if you were a young black kid back in the day, growing up with the Two Live Crew and those things like that, and are now unapologetic for our past, but knowing we have grown up and seeing how things are and moving towards the future, what do you think about this? Uncle Luke is running for Congress. Uncle Luke may be our president one day. Who knows? Who knows? What you know, what you think, what you have to say about this race or any other sort of race right now, throw in some Grant Plantner. He's got some issues to deal with right now. Let me know.